Okay, so we'll now talk in detail about Matlock Town Football Club because even though the season has come to an end, we've got some big news that's come about recently with the Gladiators because the Gladiators have appointed a new chairman. And that chairman is with me now, I'm delighted to say. He is Jason Beaumont. Jason, thanks for coming on to the show.
Hi, Matt. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. So, well, first of all, congratulations on your appointment. I understand as well that you are Matlock's youngest ever chairman. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that was a surprise to me when Rico told me. Yeah, it's nice to be called young. I'm 46 years old. Don't always feel young, but it was nice to be classed as young. It was a surprise. It's great to be called chairman, let alone making a record of the youngest ever one. So it just adds a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. So first of all then, because obviously you got big shoes to fill because Bryn Apley did a fantastic job as Matlock Town's chairman. Wasn't the longest stint, but certainly achieved a lot in that time. When you found out that Bryn was soon to be stepping down as chairman, did you know straight away this was something that you'd like to do, that you'd like to replace Bryn and end up becoming the chairman of Matlock Town?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first off, I guess, at this point, I've got to say a massive thank you to Bryn and a well done on what he's done over the previous few years. I've been fortunate enough to know Bryn virtually all of my life. He was actually my brother's best man many years ago. So we've been friends for many years. The family have been friends. And yeah, a couple of months ago, Bryn invited me for a pint and a chat. And informed me of his decision. And if I'm honest, myself and a group of us who are actually going to start getting involved again now, have known for many years that these days would come where we would have to step up to the plate again. I first joined the main committee in 2002. And since then, I've been on, stand committees, heavily involved in getting the funding for the stand on Deanfield side and so on, and the social club. Had to have a period where I stepped away from being heavily involved because I was working in Hull and travelling from Matlock to Hull every day. So something had to give. My daughter was born. And last couple of years, started getting involved again, working closely with Bryn, looking on ground developments, looking on developing the links with the juniors a bit more and a few other things. And always thought, it's going to come at some point. He dropped that on me. It was a bit of a bombshell, to be fair. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting it. And he said, we've been thinking about it and we'd like you to consider taking it on. Initial thought was it could do with being a few years further on when I was slowing down a bit more work-wise. But then, you kind of sit back and reflect and think, when is the right time? And actually, the right time is now. The right time is now. I look at the work that Bryn has done and the foundations that have been put in place, particularly with extending the reach into the community. And that work can't stop. It's something that I'm really passionate about, see as a great future for the club, and thought, now is the time. Let's crack on. Got to say, massive support from my wife, Helena, and my daughter, Martha, as well, who's 8. She's excited and wants to get involved herself. But also, kind of my parents, everybody's been so supportive, and friends who want to get involved as well. So, yeah. It just gave me loads of confidence to say, now's the time, let's crack on and do it.
Yeah, great stuff. And just for any listeners, if they've not seen you before at Causeway Lane at the Proctor Cars Stadium or haven't come across your name before, you've always had close links with Matlock, haven't you? Not just with the club, but with the town in general.
Yeah, with the town, yeah. So born and bred in Matlock. I think quite a lot, as a family, we're quite well known. There's not many Beaumonts around, so, people who know the Beaumonts, they kind of, it's us. We, as a family, we had the Duke William pub in Starcombs for 10 years, from 2005 to 2015. So there's quite a few people know us from there. And, as a kid, I remember as a young kid going down to Causeway Lane, listening to March of the Gladiators playing over the tannoy, running down Stony Way as that was coming on, and myself and my brother running down the hill to get there before kickoff, being ball boys, selling programs. Graham Mumby, who is one of my closest friends, who's also coming on board, getting involved. He used to sell the programs with us, and then it just goes on. You have periods of life where there's bits of change. You're away for a little while, but Those who know me well, I'm a Forest fan as well. Yeah, appears where you'll go and watch Forest for a while, but also Matlock's home, and as a club, it's home. So yeah, that's.
And obviously, with all of that, it must be now that you are officially, because I know it's been in the works for a little while, but now that it's official, because of how linked you are with Matlock, this must be such a proud moment for you personally. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those things. I think I don't think I could fully understand how it would make me feel until it went out in the press today. Actually, as I say, I've known about it for a little while now. We've been talking about it. We've been building the plans. One of the things that had been in my mind, and I spoke to Mel, my dad, about, was I don't want to do it one day when I think I wish my dad could see me now. I want to do it when he can actually see me, rather than I wish he could see me. So there was that pride of that. Dad, I've watched football for many, many years with Dad. We travel around watching it, whether Matlock, Forest, whatever. But also, I think, seeing the reaction today, seeing it out there, seeing some of the comments from friends, from some old friends, some of the private messages, text messages from ex-players. I'll not name them all, but some ex-real heroes down at Matlock Town sending messages to me, ex-managers sending messages to me, and it makes you think, you know what, Guy, you don't realise the impact, and obviously the interactions that you're having, people are recognising it, and it's filling me with huge pride. So and hopefully I can make the town proud of what we bring to the club as well.
Yeah, great stuff. And well, now that the announcement's been made and everyone's now aware of it, I guess the big question that Matlock Town fans and avid followers of non-league football within Derbyshire, what they'll be keen to know is what are your main goals for Matlock Town? Because obviously, Bryn Appley did a lot within his time as chairman. He had a very big vision in terms of stuff for off the pitch, in terms of making sure that the club was very much a community team. Doing as much as possible off the pitch, especially to do with like Christmas charity work, things like that. What are your main goals for the club, say for the next 1 to 2 years for the Gladiators?
Yes, I think, Matt. I think there's a chunk of continuation. I don't think it's something where it's going to be a revolution. I think it's going to be evolution from where we are today. I absolutely buy into the football operating model that is, it's a community club. It's there for the people of the community, and I want as many people as possible to feel that Matlock Town is their club, that Causeway Lane is their home, whether that's as a player, whether that's as a Matlock Town first team player, as on the male game, whether that's as part of Matlock Town ladies, because they are Matlock Town as well, whether it's as a junior, again, male or female. One of the things that I've been heavily involved in over the past year with Nick Newbury and Cherie White is setting up or creating additional girls teams. So we've got at least 3 new junior girls teams starting out in the league this coming year, and really trying to drive Matlock Town into the community even more than it is today. We are a community club. There's no owner. It's ours as a community, and we need to be sustainable in that way. We don't need to name teams locally where there's some financial distress at this moment in time, and it's all where we've become reliant on an individual funding football clubs. And for me, it's great whilst that happens, but there will always come a time when that has to end. So for me, it's about how can we become the heartbeat of the community? How can we be that place that many, many people call home every day of the year? So it's not just a football club, non-football revenues, continually supporting the development of football activities, but also the facilities at the stadium as well. So that if we can generate funds when Matlock Town aren't playing football there, through whatever it may be, it might be the social club, it might be the use of different facilities, it might be by the construction of additional facilities that people can use outside of football matches, then we can build on it and we can improve the match day experience. We're in talks at this moment in time about putting additional bar facilities, T-bar facilities, toilet facilities in different areas of the ground, because one of the great things that's happened under Bryn's watch is our attendances have gone from 400, 450 up to just over 700. We've got the high class problem that is the match day experience for some fans has probably stepped backwards. It's been great on the pitch. We've been really successful, but it's now harder to go and get a cup of tea or a pie, you know, one fantastic pie, chips and peas, or to get into the social club and have a pint. So when I say high class problem, it's great because a lot of people want to do it. So how do we improve that? So lots of stuff about, you know, really getting in there, making it so that it's a home for more people, more than just a football club. And I think when we look at the football side, I think there's the part of the first team, you know, working with Philo and Wildy. We've got a meeting tomorrow night to look at budgets for next year and player lists, and hopefully some exciting news coming out soon about new players that will be added to the squad. So, you know, building that first team, that is ultimately what we're here for. But to be able to build the first team, we've got to be building everything else. And, you know, and with that, there's part of, for me, looking at the other clubs, you know, that Steve Murphy works with Ivanhoe sent me a message earlier. You know, we've got a close link there. How do we develop those links further with not just Wirksworth, with other teams, whether it's at junior level or at adult level? We should be the pinnacle of football in Derbyshire Dales. And it should be that everybody playing at whatever level for whatever team sees Matlock as that's where I want to get to. And I want to be a part of it. Not as a, you know, something that's kind of competitive and, you know, we don't like them because it's Matlock Town and we're this. Actually, we should be that pinnacle for them. We should be there to help them, and we should be there for where they want to get to ultimately. So that's where we're wanting to push. I want to, as part of it, we've got a lot of people joining us. You know, please, people, get in touch with me if you want to get involved, because I'm wanting to increase the representation of ladies and children at the club as well. So whether that's on match day, and a great thing that Bryn has done with the, you know, the junior mascots, with the schools coming along and so on, been some really great initiatives there. So we're seeing a lot more kids, a lot more ladies come to matches. But what about on the committees? You know, we're very light in terms of female representation on the committees. So, you know, come on board, let's get involved. You know, it's an all-inclusive club. I also want to set up a junior committee as well, because we have a lot more children coming to the games now. We should understand football through a junior's eyes. We can't do that. I'm 46 years old. The way we understand it through a junior's eyes is let's listen to the kids and let them tell us what they want at a football match, how they want their experience to go, and what's important to them. So there'll be lots of things about that, and trying to ask people how they want the club to be operated, what facilities they want, what they want the match day experience to be, and all of that ultimately so that we can do a better job, we can get more people through the door, we can generate more revenue so that Philo and Wildy can go out and get better players. And let's push on. And, you know, we didn't have a disappointment at the end of the season. It was, you know, we had a great season. It would have been great to get promoted, but you know what, we had a great season. Let's not dwell on the disappointment of losing in the playoffs. It was fantastic. So let's push on.
Yeah, fantastic. And well, just finally then, Jay, so you must be so excited for the 2022-23 season, because as you've just mentioned there before, last season was Matlock's. No, there wasn't a trophy at the end of it, which I know Philo and Wildy and etc. were all absolutely gutted about, because they're just born winners. But it was a fantastic season for the Gladiators. First playoffs finish in 15 years, I think it was. But more importantly, in a way, the engagement with the club has probably never been better. And I don't think that was better represented than at the end of season 2, which was the most well-attended one Matlock's had in a long, long, long time as well, of what I remember of that do anyway. But that's another story. But in terms of the season coming up, this must be such an exciting time to be a Matlock Town supporter, because it sounds like things are progressing now really, really quickly at the club. Things are going in a very sort of forward-thinking direction. This is, you know, a season to be really excited for. Absolutely,
you know, and I think, you know, we need to remember that the club goes forwards as one and it goes backwards as one. So, you know, there were some moments at the back end of last season, I know, where fans were getting frustrated because you know, that title charge just dropped off a little bit. And I think for me is we need to recognise that, you know, kind of we are that community club, and the excitement is we could start next season, we could lose the first 3-4 games. Let's stay behind the club. Let's stay behind what we're doing, because, you know, that can happen. That's football. So, you know, we thought probably when we beat Buxton at Christmas time, we thought we were going to win the league, and we could have won the league, you know, quite easily. We were a few goals ricocheting in the box, sort of thing, you know, away from winning the league. We were that close. That doesn't mean that we'll start the season on a, you know, like a train and go and win it. I'd say if we don't, stay with us, keep coming, get behind the guys, and it will come good. But we might start off like a train and we might get to the top of the league. We might be 20 points clear by Christmas or whatever. And then we might hit a tricky time. Just stick together. And I think, this is one of the big things for me is let's be in it together. The first team are really important. The managers are really important. The committee is really important. The fans are really important. Without one of those parts, we are nothing as a club. If we all do it together, and that's one of the great things I've loved for many, many years at Matlock Town is we're a community. We're together. And that's what excites me. Are we going to set Philo and Wildy some challenges? Yeah, absolutely. I want to win the FA Cup in the first and so on. But joking apart, you know what? Yeah, it'd be nice to think we can go one better next year. But this is football. We know what happens. It's a tough division. There's some teams coming into the division with big budgets. It's not going to be an easy season. Let's just get behind them. Let's support everybody, and let's have as good a season as we can get, and make some memories.
Okay, great stuff. Well, I'm sure every Matlock fan listening to this will now be, if they weren't before, now very excited for the 2022-23 campaign. So thanks for your insight, obviously, into your new role at the club. And obviously, everyone here at North Derbyshire Radio hopes it's a great success. And from the sounds of it, it really will be. So thanks for your time, Jay, and I'm sure we'll speak to you again soon.
No, thank you very much. And I guess final bit, yeah, I really mean it. Anybody who wants to get involved with the club, however small and insignificant you think what you can bring to the club is, come and have a chat. Every little bit helps, and whatever that is, it doesn't have to be a big time commitment. Every view is welcome, every idea is welcome. So yeah, come and get involved with us. Catch us on match day. Drop me a text, drop me a call, drop me an email, whatever. And yeah, let's go and do this together.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you, Jason.
Okay, cheers, Matt.